All right, so we've got limited time to go through this because I had asked my sister if she wanted to do a movie night tonight, last night, and I've already forgotten that we had plans to watch a movie together. Now, my sister's in New York, I'm in Florida, so we usually talk on the phone and sync our TVs to it so that we can, do movie night. So that's in about an hour. What time is it? It is 7:38. So I'll probably only be able to get through one nail right now, but I will be picking up the other ones tonight because I really want to get the set done today. So this set being fashion brand nails. So I have the designs all planned out. I'm going to do Louboutin, Chanel, LV, Louis Vuitton. Now I'm getting confused between Louboutin and Louis Vuitton. Yes, Louis Vuitton, and Coach, and then Yves Saint Laurent. So those are going to be the ideas. This nail I scratched out because I wasn't really sure. It didn't really come out the way I wanted to in the design, but I'm going to be doing probably the diamond pattern with the inset 4-leaf flower. This one is too similar to, what's the brand? I don't remember the name of the brand right now, but it has also a 4-petal flower, and it's very popular right now. But yeah, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to start with Louboutin, which is going to be a full nail of pixie crystals and then red souls. The background is going to be silver glitter. So let's get started with that. I'm going to get my nails all set up to go, and these are going to be on the smaller nails that I'm doing for my display book. So yes, I need 5 nails. I'm going to wipe down my mat because it's once again got cat hair all over it. And I will be back in a moment. All right, so we are ready to go. I'm going to be starting off with my silver gel paint from Madame Glam. Actually, let's turn on the lamp so that we can get it ready for curing. And I'm going to do 2 coats of the silver gel. I want it to really pop from behind the pixie crystals. Generally speaking, I'm not too great of a fan of pixie crystals, at least for wearing myself because of the sharp edges. But I do love playing with it on display nails. All right, easy enough. We're gonna pop this in the lamp and then do a second coat. Okay, so we've got our pixie crystals and we've got our 2 coats of silver. Now, if I were just to put a base coat on and dip it into the pixie crystals, it wouldn't really work too well because you'd have the tackiness of the gel popping up through the crystals, and if you were to top coat then over it, then you would kind of lose the sparkle of the crystals because the gel is going to bloat all the facets. So what you want to use is something that's really thick and something that's going to cure without a tacky layer. So I'm going to be using Jinbee's Crazy Top, because it's very thick and it's going to hold those crystals really well, but also because it is a top coat and it dries non-tacky, so we don't have to worry about anything sticking to the nail after the fact or having to top coat over it. So I'm going to put a healthy amount on. Don't have to really worry about it self-leveling because we're going to be pushing the crystals into it anyway. All right. So I was going to dip the nail directly into the crystals, and I'm still going to, but I don't want to dip it into the jar because if ones fall back in that have the top coat on it, I don't want it to stick and cure to all the others. So So I'm going to pour them into this shallow tray and kind of just spread them out a bit. And then we're going to roll the nail in it. Then using my finger, I'm just going to press down to flatten out the layers. This is a cluster from the last time I did it. I'm just switching to using the silicone tool so that I'm not touching uncured gel with my fingers accidentally. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm just going to press it down one more time for good measure. Put a little bit of gel around the perimeter. And then we're going to cure it. All right, our nail is fully cured. The crystals are on and not moving. So now we want to flip it over and do the underside. Now, of course, I have these hooks on the bottom that serve for nailing it on, not nailing it, but securing it into my my nail book, but we're just going to paint right over it and hopefully it'll still press in, or maybe I'll just paint around. So if you're doing this on a person, obviously you want to be careful that you don't get it on their skin. The other way is to do it on press-ons. Make sure that it's fully cured and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, and of course now I'm going to top coat it. Not with matte, which I grabbed by accident. Although you can matte top coat it, that could add an interesting effect, but I think I'm just going to do a regular top coat. So while that cures, we'll go over what the next nail will be. It's going to be houndstooth for Chanel, Coco Chanel. And it's going to be, I'm going to be using a jelly stamper. So I've got my stamper right here. I've got my two gel stamping polishes by Born Pretty. I've got a black and a white. I'm not sure what color I want the background to be, because the houndstooth is going to be whichever stamping polish I choose. Unfortunately, it's the only two colors I have. So our houndstooth pattern is right here. And I will show you how to use the stamping tool. Now, usually I clean it off with a lint roller, but I don't know where mine is. I say that every single time. I don't know where my lint roller is. So what I'm going to use is my Meyer's Clean Day spray and a lint-free wipe, and I'm just going to wipe it over the surface. And that should take care of any lint that's on it. And then I'm going to go over the stamp again with some alcohol because I don't want any soapy residue on it, since I just wiped it with the cleanser. All right, so traditional houndstooth is black and white, so I think I'm just going to go with that. So I'm going to paint the nail with black, and I'm actually going to use my Apres black. Because I was using it last night to do these lovely nails. If you want to see that video, please click here, I will post it. But Apres gels cure in 30 seconds. And this is the first black that I've used that I haven't had any problems with it curing properly. So I'm just going to use it now. And it says French manicure gel. There's no difference with the gel. It's the brush, which is tapered. So that when you're doing your French manicure, you can draw your lines. Starting on this side with it tapered down towards the corner, you just pull straight up, and once you get to the center, you flip the brush and you do the other side. It's so cool. It's an amazing, amazing product. But I'm just going to go in and do 2 layers for complete opacity, each curing for 30 seconds. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it just started pouring out. Anyway, we're gonna get into the stamping portion. So we have, I think I was looking at the wrong one before. We've got this one, which I don't think is houndstooth, but I think this one is definitely houndstooth. So we're going to go with this one. And it's not going to cover the nail in its entirety, unfortunately. So I might have to try to do 2 passes. But we've got our plate, we've got our card to scrape it down, which you definitely will need. And we've got our polish. So I'm going to shake it. I don't think I've ever actually used these yet. So we're going to put a good amount at the top, and please bear with me. I have not done stamping in a while. I think actually the last time I did stamping was the houndstooth pattern, which was over a year and a half ago. So going at an angle, you just want to scrape down in one move if possible. If you need to go in with a second move, go ahead, but only do it twice, and then you want to pick it up as quickly as possible just by rolling it. So we're going to move the part that we don't need, just so that it doesn't wind up on the nail. If you've got sticky tape, you can use that, or you can just use the side of the card as I'm doing, or a lint roller. Now we're going to rock it from side to side to get it over the nail. You can use, since it's telescopic, you can see where you're placing it. But I'm going to just go from side to side, just like so. And of course, I missed the edges. That worked beautifully. All right, I'm going to do another pass, but first we need to clean the plate so that we get a clean pickup. So again, with alcohol, if it doesn't come off all the way in the first pass, you can use a little bit of acetone. Then we're just going to do the same thing that we did before. I do wish the pattern was a little smaller. All right, so once again, taking the card, swiping once, twice if necessary, picking up the pattern, That one wasn't as good of a pickup. And we want it going in the same direction so that it lines up. Oh crap, I touched a nail. I think I just had a good idea. I'm going to remove the residue, but I think I want to draw a line and put something else on the bottom. So bear with me. I'm just going to grab a cleanup brush. All right. So we're going to clean up before we get going with anything else. Always clean your tools right away. I got this really cool book, just moving this aside for a moment. It came with all of these plates on Amazon, so I will link it in the description box below. But it comes with all these different stamping plates with different patterns. It comes with the card, and I just keep it at the back, like so. Hello. All right, closing that up so that we don't knock it over, or if we do knock it over, it doesn't spill. And I'm going to grab my white liner to block off the lower half. So I should say the stamping polish air dries, so you don't have to worry about curing it. But we do need to cure the white gel paint. So this is going to go into the lamp. I still do want to clean off some more of this. Okay, that's better. All right, so I was going to use my Coco Chanel rhinestone, or charm rather, which is in here somewhere. I think right here. I was going to place it in the center of the nail. Hopefully it will still fit a little bit further down towards the tip since we have that naked area now. And then I was thinking about doing a chain border, since if you look at the bags of Coco Chanel, their clutches and shoulder bags have a chain link pattern to it. So I'm going to grab my chains. Now the problem with doing this though is we don't have the chains at the salon. So if someone sees this nail and they want it, I can't really offer it to them unless I could always bring these to work. It's not like I'm using them all the time, whereas I'm going to eat into my personal budget supplying some stuff at work. But I should, of course, if I show something in the book, I should have the products available for use. Otherwise, it's a little disingenuous. But we've got the nail here, all cured. Silver, the problem is this one is gold. Different gold. I think this one will be good. It's not as brassy. Or it's a little bit more brassy, less yellow. I really do prefer the silver though with the black and white. These chains are from Lizette Cruz Nails, so I will link those down below as well. But let's get to attaching the charm. So I'm going to use charm glue. and it's from Makartt. And it comes with this really good spout so that you can really place the gem glue where you want it. However, since it is a pretty large gem, go in the hole. Okay, use your dominant hand. I'm going to use the brush. All right, so this is going to go in the lamp to cure, and then we're going to attach the chain. Should also mention that I don't have the stamps that work either, so if I want to do this design, I have to bring the stamps in too. Question is, do we think the chain is going to be a bit much? Kind of almost looks like a shoe the way it is. I don't want to secure it yet until I know whether or not I actually want to keep it. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so I'm just gonna flash it for a second so that stays up in the corner. That wasn't enough. All right, we're just gonna snip off a piece. So that's not so heavy. Okay, these are supposed to make it easier to cut, not harder. I really don't advise using your cuticle nippers, but desperate times. I have to say, now that the chain's on, I really don't like it. So I'm going to try to remove it without ruining the nail. And then I'm just going to top coat over it. All right, now for some repair work, since I royally messed this up. Let's put some things away first. Okay, it should look okay once it's top coated. I'm going to go over some of the edging with more black. Oops, Let's move this out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and top coat this. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some base coat just to level out some of the inconsistencies that were left behind from the glue, and then we'll top coat. This will also make sure that the charm is in there well. All right, so we've got 2 of our nails done so far. I managed to fix this nail back to looking like a ballet flat. Interestingly, while I was away, because I did step away to talk to my sister, we didn't end up doing movie night, but I mentioned the fact that I put this charm on the nail, again, not thinking the fact that we don't necessarily have all the same charms at work, and if someone sees something that they want and we don't have it, so now I have to start searching for these charms so that I have them in the odd event that somebody actually wants it. But we're going to move on to the next nail, which is going to be Louis Vuitton. I have, I think these are Louis Vuitton logo charms. I have one in gold and one in silver. Not sure if I'm going to use it in the pattern, but let's go ahead and get that pattern started because it is a bit not complicated, but it's all over the nail, so it's going to be a bit redundant and going to take some time to complete it. In terms, let me look up what the colors are for Louis Vuitton. Google Louis Vuitton colors. Right. Well, yeah, the brown and the gold. Yeah, so let's do that. I haven't done any brown nails recently. Let me grab, oh, I love this color. Hold on. Deja Brew from Apres. It's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't had a chance to use it on myself yet, but at some point. So I will do the background. Let's do the background in gold because I want to do the diamonds in this color. So do I want to do flat gold? I don't really have a flat gold. What do I have? What do I have? My flat gold is, say it with me, at work. I'm just going to have to start buying duplicates of everything when I have some spare money. Okay, where's my brush? So just going to do the same thing that we did with the silver nail, and we're going to do 2 coats all over. All right, so I've gone and done 2 coats. I matte top coated it so that'll make it a little easier to draw on because we are going to be using a regular polish, which is not as thick as a gel polish. Hair everywhere always, and we don't want it to run. So I've got my color on the palette. I've got my liner brush, and we're going to go in with some diamonds. I'm going to start in the center, and the diamonds don't have straight lines. They are curved inward. So, and it needs to come out a little bit more. So let's do that. I'm going to start with filling the first one in just to get the overall shape, because sometimes just lining it doesn't work for me. I think what I'm going to end up doing is curing it as I go, much as that makes me nervous, because if I don't like it and I cure it, then it's kind of stuck. But seeing as how the points of the diamonds are going to be touching the points of the next diamond, I don't want there to be any issue with pigment bleeding. I'm wondering if you all are seeing that. My light is getting lighter and darker on its own, and now my phone is ringing. Yes, and people that don't have personalities that mesh do not hang out together.
Alright, so I'm going to break in here and say that I had to scrap the nail that I was working on. It was going to be a YSL inspired nail, but it just wasn't working out, and I didn't have the heart to edit all the footage. So I'm just going to cut straight through to the sixth nail I decided to do, which is now the fifth, which is Burberry. That came out so much better, and I'm in love with it, and I'm going to have to do a Burberry set of nails on myself, but let's get to the Burberry nail now.
Okay, so I happen to have the exact color for the background that I need. Okay, so we've got our background color, we have it mattified, and now I'm going to go in with a longer liner brush so we can put in the plaid. I do have a plaid brush, but I don't know, I prefer my liner brush. So I'm going to go in with the white first. Yeah. And I'm going to do it in a diamond configuration, so going crossways. So I'm using a milky white so that when we cross over and create the opposing diagonal lines, we get that overlay of where it's more opaque. I just need to plot the lines really well because the black is going to go in between. So I recently bought Melody Susie brushes that I brought into work. I bought them for work. And they are so superior to any liner brushes I've ever used. And I'm drawing these lines here and fighting to keep them thin and straight. And I think I'm going to have to buy another set of the Melody Susie ones so I can have them here. All right, so we've got our first set of tri-plaid lines. I'm going to give it a cure, and then I'm going to do the same in the opposite direction. So I messed up. Oh, I did an extra white line. It's supposed to be 3 black and 2 white. Oh well. No one will know if we don't tell them, so don't tell them. All right, so these are our designer logo nails. I hope you liked this video. It took me a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but with some interruptions, but I like how these turned out. A little disappointed I couldn't get the YSL done, but the Burberry really came out nicely. And I think my favorite one is the Louis Vuitton. But I really love the Coco Chanel as well. The Louboutin is okay. It's got the red bottom, which is really what makes Louboutin shine. I have it stuck to the palette right now, but a red bottom is a red bottom. You know what it looks like. If you have any comments or questions, suggestions for upcoming content, comments or questions as to any of the products or techniques I did in this video, please leave your comments down below. All the products I used will be listed in the description box below, even for the nails that did not work out. Thankfully, it was only one. Although I did want to put the chain in on this one, and that didn't work out. But definitely leave a comment down below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.